Everyone, this is your grade 6 history lesson 5 Kingdoms, Kings and an Early Republic. Video 1. Get ready with your content book, children. First of all, let us see how some men became rulers. Choosing leaders or rulers by voting is something that has become very common during the last 50 years, right? Yes, we are selecting our leaders or representatives by the process of voting. Some of the Rajas we read about in the previous chapters were probably chosen by the Jana, the people, public. But around 3000 years ago, we find some changes taking place in the ways in which Rajas were chosen. Some men now became recognized as Rajas by performing very big sacrifices. Let us see what are those sacrifices. The Ashwamedha, it is nothing but a horse sacrifice, was one of such ritual. A horse was let loose to wander freely and it was guarded by the Raja's men, like assistants. Okay. The horse wandered into the kingdoms of other Rajas and they stopped the horse. They had to fight for the horse. Okay. If they allowed the horse to pass, it meant that they accepted that the Raja who wanted to perform the sacrifice, the horse sacrifice, was stronger than them. These Rajas were then invited to the sacrifice, which was performed by specially trained priests who were rewarded with gifts. Okay, they will be rewarding with some gifts. The Raja who organized the sacrifice was recognized as being very powerful. He will be recognized as the very powerful Raja. And all those who came there brought gifts for him. Okay, the Raja was a central figure in these rituals. He often had a special seat, okay, which is made of tiger skin, like that. Okay, his charioteer, who was his companion in the battlefield, and he witnessed his exploits, chanted tales of his glory. His relatives, especially his wives and sons, had to perform a variety of minor rituals. The other Rajas were simply spectators. Okay. The other Rajas were simply spectators who had to sit and watch the performance of the sacrifice of the Raja. Priests performed the rituals, including the sprinkling of sacred water on the skin. On the skin. The ordinary people also brought gifts for the sacrifice of the Raja. However, some people, such as those who were regarded as Shudras by the priest, were excluded from many rituals. The next one is Janapadas. What's the next one? Janapadas. The Rajas who performed these big sacrifices, were now recognized as being Rajas of Janapadas rather than Janas. The word Janapada literally means the land where the Janas set its foot and settle down. Some of the important Janapadas are shown in the map 4, which is in the page number 49 in your content book. Okay. Archaeologists have excavated a number of settlements in these Janapadas, such as Purana Quila in Delhi, Hastinapura near Meerut, and Atranjikera near Etak. The last two are in Uttar Pradesh. They found that people lived in huts and keep cattle as well as other animals. They also grew a variety of crops: rice, wheat, barley, pulses, sugarcane, sesame and mustard. As we know that agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy, right, children? Okay. They made earthen pots. Some of these were grey in color, others were red. One special type of pottery found at these sites is known as painted grey ware. As is obvious from the name, these grey pots had painted designs, usually simple lines and geometric patterns. So those pots have geometric patterns. The next topic is Mahajanapadas. About 2500 years ago, some Janapadas became more important than others, and they were known as Mahajanapadas. Some of these are shown on map 4. Most Mahajanapadas had a capital city. Many of these were fortified. This means that huge walls of wood, brick or stone were built around them. Built around the cities. Okay. Forts were probably built because people were afraid of attacks from other kings and needed protection. It is also likely that some rulers wanted to show how rich and powerful they were by building really large, tall and impressive walls around their cities. Okay, so it's actually 50-50. Just one is for protection and another one is to show their richness and powerfulness towards other kings and kingdoms. Also, in this way, the land and the people living inside the fortified area could be controlled more easily by the king. So, who has the main control? King. Building such huge walls required a great deal of planning. Thousands, thousands, if not lakhs, of bricks or stones had to be prepared. This is in turn meant enormous labor provided possibly by thousands of men, women, and children, and resources had to be found for all of this. Right, children? The new Rajas now began maintaining armies. Soldiers were paid regular salaries. Soldiers were paid regular salaries and maintained by the king throughout the year, just for their protection. Okay, some payments were probably made using punch marked coins. Okay, you will read more about these in chapter 8. Okay, again, regarding the punch marked coins, you'll be reading about the punch marked coins in chapter 8. The next topic is taxes. As the rulers of Mahajanapadas were building huge forts, maintaining big armies, they needed more and more resources. They need swords, yes, and they needed officials to collect all those resources. So instead of depending on occasional gifts brought by people, as in the case of Raja of the Janapadas, they started collecting regular taxes. Okay, just to satisfy all their needs, like to build the huge forts, maintaining big armies, and all those things. Okay, taxes on crops were the most important. The first thing is tax on crops. This was because most people were farmers. Most people were farmers and they were growing many crops. Yes, usually the tax was fixed at 1/6 of what was produced. This was known as baga or a share. So the people need to give a share to the king as the form of tax. There were taxes on crafts, person as well. These could have been in the form of labor. For example, a weaver or smith may have had to work for a day every month for the king. Okay. Herders, the person who's herding cattle, who's rearing cattle, were also expected to pay taxes in the form of animals and animal produce. There were also taxes on goods that were bought and sold through trade. And hunters and gatherers also had to provide forest produce to the Raja. Okay. These are the important points under the heading taxes. Okay. So children, based on this video, there are few questions. Please answer the following questions. First one, what is Ashwamedha? Who organized the horse sacrifice? Third one, who was charioteer? Fourth one, what does the word Janapada literally mean? Fifth one, why did the rulers start collecting regular taxes from the public? For this question, you have to refer your content book, page number 51 for answer if you need. Okay. Thanks for watching the video. Keep watching.